Staffingpreneurs, I am so excited. We are here, first Wednesday of the month. You are here for your live Q&A call, and I am super excited to be here chiming in from the beautiful Chicago, Illinois. Hey, Chicago in the house. So first, I want to just say, welcome to the Staffingpreneurs Academy live Q&A call. I wait all month for this call, so I'm really excited to be here with you all. As usual, I want you to tell me where you are and where you're chiming in from, right? I want to know where you are, where you're chiming in from, and I would love to know your niche. So if you, So if you have a niche, I would like to know what your niche is. Where are you chiming in from and what's your niche? Hey, Angela, I'm glad it's not my volume and yours. I appreciate you. Chandra is here from Charleston, South Carolina. I see one of my staffingpreneurs is sending me hearts and love. Ooh, I love you so much. Oh my gosh, we are going to be so fired up today. I have literally been waiting for this. Today, I have so much to go over with you, and I want to just kind of take my time a little bit and kind of scoot myself in here because y'all know I get super duper excited when I'm talking about impacting lives, replenishing the economy. Definitely recruiting and staffing, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to talk about. We've got Brett here from Dallas. We've got Maximo from Pennsylvania. We've got Ernest from the DNC. Hey, Ernest. We've got Joan in the house. We're going to be talking about Joan today. Kelly Rich, Northern Virginia. Hey, my Kelly. Angela is in Boston. Oh, my gosh. I hope the weather is okay there. I heard it's probably chilly, freezing. Crystal in the house. Hey, my Crystal. Her niche is a clerical admin, and she's in the Memphis area. Sujai is here. Tia Powell, Indiana. Healthcare is in the house. Ooh, y'all are here all over the world. Nakia B, Philadelphia, healthcare. We have Barry in Atlanta. Y'all keep the comments coming. I want to know where you are. I want to be here to get you all absolutely freaking fired up. And let me just tell you today, I'm telling you, if y'all feeling some type of way, today, just sit back and relax because I'm going to just release some of that stress you got going on, and I'm going to get you super fired up, and we're going to talk about impacting lives because if you know me, if anybody, most of the people who know me, who work with me one-on-one know that this is like my mission, and it's been my mission for a very long time. And my goal is to get you into the space that I am. Let's impact some lives. Lucy is here from Horn Lake, Mississippi. Lanice in Ohio. Shannon, Washington, D.C. Kayleen, North Point, Florida. Oh, wow. Tracy in Milwaukee. I was just on their podcast. Hey, Tracy. We've got Narita. I hope I pronounced your name properly. You know I love you. DMV area. Let's do this, y'all. Are y'all ready? Veronica in the DMV. I can't stop. Y'all are on fire. Okay, let's get this thing going. First things first. You know, today I am here to talk about recruitment and staffing. That is what I'm here to talk about. Now, I want to tell you yesterday, first of all, y'all, I got to tell y'all this. I have not watched the news since Obama was elected in 2018, real talk. And lately, I have been watching the news for the first time in a long time. I'm sorry, Narita. I'm so sorry. I love you. And I got yesterday, here it is, my Post-it note, my Staffingpreneurs Academy Post-it note. I saw yesterday 10.7 million fewer jobs since February. That's how many jobs that we have lost. That's how many jobs that we're at now. And that is a big deal. And it's a conversation that cannot be missed. Somebody put in the chat box, where are the jobs? Just type it in the box so we can get that stream. Hashtag, where are the jobs, right? That is something that cannot be ignored, no matter what. It cannot be ignored. So I want to talk about it today. I get the number one question, first of all, that I get because I'm a coach, right? I'm a coach. I show people how to start their own niche recruitment and staffing business. Yes, I am also a recruiter as well. And I get people who are coming to me all the time and they're like, Dee, should we do that now? We're in a pandemic. There is a recession going on. is this a good time to start a business? Can somebody on this call, anybody, name one company that is succeeding right now that started during a downturn? Anybody during the last recession, can you name a company that's on fire right now that's actually winning and they were actually launched during the downturn, during the last recession? I want you to put it in the box because it's very important for you to understand that this is one industry that will never die. Okay? It cannot die. And the reason being is because companies have to hire. They have to. We have to be able to keep the grocery stores open. We have to be able to keep the manufacturing warehouses open that are housing the food and the supplies. We have to keep the hospitals open. Technology rules the world. Have you watched what is it called? The Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma? Has anybody seen that? Oh my gosh, technology rules the world. E-commerce online rules the world. Data is huge, right? Insurance, like, do not get caught up in the rhetoric out there around what's not happening, right? What I want you to do is to start thinking about what's coming towards you. What's the future about to hold for the United States of America and abroad, from a hiring perspective, from an economy perspective, from a building perspective, right? Millionaires, say it again, Ernest, millionaires are made in the recession. I feel like the most impact comes when there's dissatisfaction, and we're in a place right now where we feel really uncomfortable, right? Where we're really uncomfortable. So it's really, really important for you not to listen to the rhetoric out there, but to really be a true entrepreneur and start thinking beyond what you see in front of you and to start foreseeing what you know is going to come in the future. And that's kind of what I'm good at, right? I'm good at being able to see trends and to kind of predict what's coming next. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit later. We have some special guests coming on. I'm actually going to pop out my seat in a minute. I'm so fired up. So y'all better not judge me when y'all see me in here getting fired up. Don't be laughing at me. My staffingpreneurs already know how I do. So for them, they know who I am. But if this is your first time here and this is your first time meeting Dee Williams, first, I just want to say welcome. Second, be prepared. Like, you need to get some tissue because I exude a lot of energy, and I'm not going to hold anything back from you. Okay. So let's talk about this. Now, I got a couple of things going on today that I want to talk about in addition to that. We have two special guests that are going to be chiming in today, and I'm not sure what time they're coming in, but that's going to definitely lead into one of the conversations that I want to have with you today. There are some industries right now that are in dire need of help, and I really want to have this conversation. I'm going to get close to y'all. I really want to have this conversation with you, and I want to have it in the most intimate way because I don't think you really understand what's happening out here. Okay. So listen, companies need your help. Candidates need your help. Okay. And starting a niche staffing business is just one way that we can give back and really help bring the economy back to where it needs to be. So let's talk about what's hot right now. Are you ready? Let's talk about what's hot. Okay. So first of all, each and every one of you know that healthcare is hot. Why? We're in a pandemic. Okay, so healthcare was hot before the pandemic. But right now, I feel like there's just like a major pickup for that healthcare space, right? So healthcare is a major niche. Now, that's an industry. Let me just put that there. It's an industry that is on fire, burning up hot right now. Okay. However, I will say that when you start looking at starting a staffing business in the healthcare space, you don't want to just tackle all of healthcare. You really want to focus on certain parts of healthcare, the parts that are needed the most, right? Like right now, a lot of companies are looking for contract tracers so that we can see like how the virus is moving around in the economy so that we can protect our friends, our families, and our loved ones. And I don't know if that's important to you, but that's 100% important to me. So we need people for that. And they actually need staffing agencies to kind of help bring that process along, right? RNs are needed. Nurse practitioners are needed. Physicians are needed. I'm going to tell you what's needed more than anything right now. medical sterile processors, right? A lot of operations had slowed down. I was telling one of my clients here in Chicago was telling me that they slowed down and now they're starting to pick back up. And so like that's something like just being clean so that we can protect our patients. Patient care is really important. Healthcare is one of those big areas, okay? IT is another area where it's super duper 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 hot, okay? Super duper duper hot. Manufacturing, super duper duper hot. Manufacturing, super duper duper hot. Cybersecurity. Oh my gosh. Have you all been watching the news? Have you been reading what's going on in the cybersecurity space? Like since COVID happened, we have had more cybersecurity attacks than we have had in forever. And right now, there are not enough cybersecurity professionals out there to really help fix the problem for the hospitals that are being hacked, for the insurance companies that are being hacked, for the e-commerce online tech firms that are being hacked, right? There is just not enough cybersecurity talent. And so these are areas, just lightly, some of the areas where we really honestly and truly need assistance. Medical billing and coding, there's a shortage. We really, really, really need assistance. So as you all are starting to think about what telemedicine, tell them. So psychiatry, mental health is huge right now. How many people feel like, woo, you need a breather, like going through all of this COVID stuff, right? Mental health is on the rise in a way that we can't even talk about. And we need people to fill those roles out there, right? I would say some of light industrial, right? A little bit, not all, but a little bit, because, you know, like in construction too, there's ups and downs depending on whether the country is up or whether the country is down. So you have some niches that are going to be very, I'm so sorry. I love you. There are some people that are, some industries that are booming. And then you have some industries that are sometimes booming, sometimes not. And then you have some industries that are dying and going away. I'll tell you right now, like customer service, like that's typically a niche that's outsourced, right? Overseas, right? So I wouldn't encourage somebody to come up and say, I want to start a customer service staffing business. I feel like that's something that is, unless you're niching in that space even further down, that's an up and down kind of thing. But if you're saying, Dee, I know that right now the OR is hot and I want to place nurse anesthetist, I think I said it, in from, you know, that are in the OR. I want to place those folks. I'm telling you, you're in a good space. You're niching. You're not just saying healthcare. You're not just saying nurses, but you're narrowing it down to something very specific. And that way it'll make it very easy for companies to see the value that you bring. Can I get a 1 in the box if you feel that energy? Put a 1 in the box if you feel that energy. Oh yeah, I am loving this. All right. Loving this. Okay. So making sure that you are looking at your niche, thinking about your niche is absolutely freaking imperative. Absolutely freaking imperative. Okay. There we go. I love to see those ones. Y'all get me fired up when I see those ones. Okay. Now I want to talk about how much this industry is booming, because, you know, Dee Williams can sit here and she can tell you that the industry is booming, and but without proof, it's all BS, right? Without proof, it's all BS. So one of the things that I love to do is that I love to love on my staffingpreneurs. I love to love on my staffingpreneurs. And for all the people that are out here and they're living out of fear, right? They're living out of fear. They've lost their job, or they're furloughed, or they're trying to figure out what their side hustle is going to be and they don't know what it's going to be just yet, or they're just afraid to start something new or to tap into their bank account because they're afraid of what may happen, but not thinking about what could potentially happen as a positive. I want to share some of the success stories that we have experienced in Staffingpreneurs Academy. And I can't tell you how proud I am. I have to be honest. Last night, I was just reflecting on the relationship that I have with my staffingpreneurs and just watching them kind of expand, not just kind of, but like really grow from the time that I met them up until now. Some of the staffingpreneurs that I'm going to call out in a minute, when I started with them, they had $0 or they had a wing and a prayer. Some of them had money, but were completely in complete fear and was just like, Dee, I don't think that I can do this. Some of them were just stubborn as all hell, and they were just trying to pick at growing the business, but wouldn't really take the time to invest in themselves. And to see them from that space to here, some of them have now grown brands, like really awesome national brands. Some of them have become millionaires. Some of them have impacted so many lives I can't even count. I just want to go through just some of the success stories that we were talking about this week in my Run It class with my one-on-one clients and in my setup class. Okay. So, and for me, guys, I don't know who you all deal with, but for me, a success is not always making a placement. Sometimes a success is just beating your fear. That is success. Sometimes success is just being able to say, I picked up the phone for the first time, Dee. That is a success, right? A success doesn't always have to end in dollar signs. And I need you to be aware of that. Everybody has their own version and their own level of success. Okay. So let's talk about it. So first of all, I just want to give a shout out to LaKoya. LaKoya is one of my staffingpreneurs in my Run It group. LaKoya came into my group so fired up. Like, I was like, who is this lady? Within her first 30 days in my Run It group, she had landed a contract with some type of government contractor, placed 50 people on billing. 50 people. Can't we get some love? Wait a minute, let me get my, wait a minute, hold on. I came prepared this time. Let's give LaKoya some love. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Y'all get fired up. Give LaKoya some love. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Now, y'all know I have to give love to one of my other favorite staffingpreneurs. This young lady came into my setup. She took my setup course. She came in and she actually, her very first contract, she actually bombed it. Her name is Nicole Gibson. She bombed this contract. And it was a very uncomfortable situation for her. She was working 2.5 jobs. She came in. I remember talking to her during some of my calls. Where you at, Nicole? I'm in the closet working, Dee. Like, she was on her grind, determined to really see a better version of herself and to impact people. In her first week in the business, like running the business and getting her first contract, she was billing $30,000 a year, placed 3 or 4, $30,000 a week, placed 3 or 4 nurses. And one of the reasons why I want to shout her out is because that was February, March of this year. Nicole is still staying consistent on billing. I think she's up to like $50K a week in billing, still rocking it out. Give Nicole Gibson some love. Wow. Can you imagine how many nurses are being impacted? Yes. Oh, God, I love it. Oh, yes. All right. I'm still getting fired up. Just one second. Let's talk about Latasha Harris. Latasha Harris came in, another RN. And I tell you, all my clients are RNs, but I do have a lot of RNs. I do have a lot of RNs in my life. Latasha Harris came in, and y'all know Latasha, give her some love. She came in here. She was serious about the business, but I think she was still holding on to her job. And I told her, you said you got to love your business more than you love your work if this is something that you're genuinely serious about doing. And when she got really serious, she started taking that thing serious. I mean, she has literally skyrocketed. 2 weeks ago, let me not tell you the 2 weeks. Let me tell you her first. I think she also billed out $30,000 her first week. She put 3 or 4 nurses on billing. The last time I talked to her was 2 weeks ago. She has 7 new hires on billing. Latasha Harris is staying consistent since earlier this year with her weekly billings and constantly growing, constantly putting people on billing. Let's give Latasha some love. Oh, wait, where's my clap? Yes. Go, Latasha. I love it. Oh God, I love it. Yes, awesomeness. All right, let's get into it. Joan Taylor, woo-wee. Joan Taylor's left my setup class. Joan said, I'm going to do this thing. Joan is also a nurse. She came in and said, Dee, this is for me. She took the staffing business by storm. Joan has been billing consistently between 30 and 50,000, 30 and 50,000 a week in her niche, recruitment and staffing business. She also places physicians. Let's give Joan some love as well. Go, Joan. Oh, man. I love it, love it, love it. Y'all have to know I get so excited. Now, I really want to give a shout out to one of my new staffingpreneurs. She's brand new in my community. She has been around for a little bit. Her name is Princess. Princess just announced that she officially got her business plan completed. She is ready. That is a big deal to get your business plan completed. Let's give Princess some love. No, wait, we got to give Princess some real love here because I love Princess. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, Princess. Getting that business plan done, girl. Oh, yeah. Fired up. Okay. Yeah, that's Princess. She said, that's me, Dee. That's my Princess. I love Princess. She's such an amazing young lady. All right, awesome. I want to give a quick shout out to my girl, Tia Bush. Tia just left Chicago with me here in the Staffingpreneur Sales Bootcamp, which we'll talk about. Tia was one of those individuals. Some of you reach out to me and you say, Dee, I'm afraid of failing. How many people have ever been in a situation where you are afraid of failing? Put a 1 in the box if you have ever felt the fear of failure. Because this young lady, I admire so much. I admire this young lady started her staffing business about 2 or 3 years ago. She grew her business. I'm talking about placing these CNAs like crazy, took over Facebook with her recruiting. And then she came into a real funky situation where some of her haters, and that's exactly what they were, tried to take her business down. And she moved out of fear and shut her business down. She waited and let time go by for a year or two. And I came on here live and I'm so thankful and I'm so proud of this young lady because she said, you know what? I'm going to swallow my fear. I know this is for me. I'm going to do it again. She went back through my setup class, came back through the boot camp. Tia is on her way to launching again. It takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of heart to be able to walk away from something and to come back with full love and full openness without holding on to the fear of failure and to be able to go out. Tia is always in my group, motivating and inspiring people and sharing her losses and her failures so that other staffingpreneurs can win. This is one staffingpreneur that I cannot say enough about. Let's give some love right now to Tia Bush for her perseverance and for her continuous tenacity and love for the recruitment and staffing business and her CNA. Let's go, Tia. Yes, Tia. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Yes. Oh, yes. Awesomeness. That's Tia. I'm telling you, she's so dope. All right. I want to give another shout out. There's another staffingpreneur in particular that I want to talk about. This young lady, her name is Tanisha. And ooh-wee, I can't tell you how proud I am of this young lady. She is not in the nursing niche. She focuses on placing sales professionals, which is a niche that is recession-proof. That's one of the things that I love. This young lady came in for me from another staffing coach. And luckily, she had a little bit of recruiting experience to be able to realize that the other staffing coach was not giving out good information, right? They were giving out information that wasn't good for them, right? Wasn't good for you as a staffingpreneur. So she decided, let me go and check Dee Williams out, right? So she checks me out. She comes in and she tells me her story and everything that's going on and where she is in her life and all of those things that are happening. And she and I really connected. And I remember getting off the phone with her and thinking to myself, man, this girl is going to really rock it out. But I try not to like live in that space, because sometimes when I think that, then people show me something different, right? So I was just thinking she's going to rock it out. This young lady came into my community. She took both of my courses at the same time, the setup and the run it course. She's always working on her setup process and making her onboarding process perfect. But one of the things that I love is that she did something that most people don't do. She took advantage of her network, right? She took advantage of her network. She stayed open. And this young lady has, in 1 month, literally 1 month, this lady has landed a contract. Friday, she had her first placement. Her second placement starts today. Tanisha out of Atlanta, we appreciate you. And girl, we are loving all that you are doing. You're inspiring us. Y'all know now, that's why I don't have no voice. Come on, y'all. Give Tanisha some love, y'all. Yes. Let me just tell you, that's just the start of it, y'all. I would be in here dancing and screaming. Y'all gonna be laughing at me. Listen, I just get fired up. I can't help it. Just to see these people just taking their lives, like really taking control of their lives and really doing some amazing things. It's just so phenomenal. I can't move forward without saying how much I appreciate Constance Hammond for constantly talking to my staffingpreneurs and guiding them and being a major part of the Staffingpreneurs Academy. If you all are a part of Staffingpreneurs Academy right now, everybody put in the box, we love you, Constance. She is freaking phenomenal. Let's give Constance Hammond some love just for being there and supporting us and sharing her love. Yes. It has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen. Okay, now I have to do one more. I just want to thank Io Thomas for believing in me and letting me push her out of her comfort zone and coming into my community and winning. I want to thank Jordan Tarnish for the same thing. I want to thank Salmon. I want to thank who else? Shakib. I want to thank Stephanie. I want to thank Hollis for my one-on-ones. Jermaine and his family. I love you. Joel and his wife, Henry Lando. I just want to shout out all of these staffingpreneurs. I literally saw you all in one place, and you all have done some miraculous, remarkable things with your business. I've watched y'all go to 0 to millions. I have watched y'all go from having an idea to having a full-blown brand where the world respects you and knows you for the work and the value that you do in your community. And I have to tell you, I just don't know how to even feel. I'm just like so overly whelmedly feeling blessed. Like I feel blessed that you all allowed me on this journey. So thank you. Put a 1 in the box if you are feeling the love and you're celebrating all the successes that these amazing staffingpreneurs are experiencing. Oh gosh, what an amazing feeling. I absolutely love it. Okay, listen, guys. Y'all know I'll be on this call crying, right? So I don't want to get too mushy. So I want to talk to you all a little bit about how you, if you're brand new into the space, and let me just make it clear. This is a Q&A call. Although I take over in the beginning, y'all know I take over in the beginning. This is a Q&A call. So all the questions that you have about starting and growing your niche recruitment and staffing business, I want you to put it in the inbox because I'm definitely going to answer, okay? But I really want to let you all know that if you are thinking about it, if you're in the space of thinking about starting a staffing business, there are a lot of people that I see here that started with me 2, 3, 4 years ago and gave up, or they pivoted, but they're still in here in my space and my energy because they know that this was in their heart. I want to talk to you about some of the things that are going on in this community. And I want to talk to you really about the setup program and the curriculum around it. Now, I'm not one to really like sell per se, but there is a young lady going around acting like she's a nurse practitioner, acting like she knows how to help nurses set up a staffing business. She's a fraud. There's another gentleman out there telling people do not use technology and to go after the very lowest hanging fruit. That is incorrect. I am so passionate about making sure that you all are getting your information from reliable sources and that you are setting your business up the right way, because if not, you actually hurt the recruiting and staffing industry. And that makes my job a lot harder, and it's going to make your job a lot harder too. So one thing that I definitely want to make sure that I mention, and our guest is actually here, I'm going to bring him in a second, is that when you are starting a recruitment and staffing business, you need to make sure that you are using a reputable company, and a reputable company that has a full-blown curriculum for you to bring your business to life. Okay, so I'm going to actually share my screen for one quick second, if you guys don't mind, and I am going to show you my platform. So I haven't launched yet. We're still in beta. We only have 1,000 users, but I launched Reskillify, which is an e-learning platform. And I want to give you an idea. And this is where our Staffingpreneurs Academy setup course starts. This is where you go to set up for Staffingpreneurs Academy. You can also get there from the Staffingpreneurs Academy website. As you can see, we have 124 students enrolled, and we have 5 ratings so far, thank gosh, that are all 5 out of 5. You know that's a big deal if you got a 5 out of 5 rating. But what I really want you to do is scroll down to the curriculum of this course. If your trainer or your coach is not giving you anything less than a full curriculum that walks you through the entire setup process. Now, I need you to listen to me. The entire setup process. Your setup is not just about legalizing your business. That is only 15% of your setup. Okay. There are things that have to happen before you ever start to legalize your business. And so you'll notice in my course, we don't even go to legalize the business until step 6, because there are 5 things literally that you want to do before you ever get to the legalization. And then from there, you start to continue the setup process, building out your brand, making sure you have you're compliant in every way, and getting your technology into gear, and then also running. And then we have accountability calls that we do every week. We have last week's, and this week's about to go up. We've been waiting for them to download, and they may do that while I'm live here, so we'll see. But I just really wanted to give you all an idea as you are thinking about starting this business. I want you to be sure that you are dealing with a coach where you are getting the full setup and not just bits and pieces. It's very easy for someone to come in and to take your money and you not actually achieve the goal that you're looking to achieve. So when you get a chance, feel free to go to Staffingpreneurs Academy. You can go to Reskillify. It's going to take you to the same place. I encourage you to set up my setup course. Now, why is that important? It's because I have a system. Okay. Most people are trying to put things together, right? They're piecing it. Y'all looking at it as a puzzle. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You don't need all of that. I want to give you one full system, step-by-step system. So simple, so easy. I have perfected this thing in real life. If you don't believe me, ask anybody who's in my setup class right now. If you're in my setup class right now and you're on this live call, put a 1 in the box if this system is damn near perfect. I said damn near. I'm talking a real setup system. Make sure you put a 1 in the box. Let the people know what it's about. Now, when I start talking about systems, there are a few things that's just super important for you to understand why a system is really, really important for you to follow when you are setting up your niche recruitment and staffing business. There are vendors out there that are not always ethical, or they are looking to take advantage of people who don't really understand the industry or don't know the industry. One of the things that I take pride in is that the ability to be able to connect with partners who feel the same way I feel. I'm a pretty ethical person. I believe that, first of all, what you see is what you get. I think y'all can figure that out right now. And I like to work with people who are authentic and honest. And I understand everybody is not, but that makes me feel good because I want to treat people and I want to be treated the way I treat people. So my vendors, I look for partners that way. I also like to have long-standing partners where they're going to take the time to really represent Staffingpreneurs Academy, and they're going to have those conversations with you. So where I dropped the ball or where you didn't catch something that I said, my partners understand that you are part of my system and they are a part of this system. And it's a win-win situation for Dee. It's a win-win situation for them. It's a win-win situation for you. It's a win-win situation for the employer that you're supporting. And it's a win-win situation for the candidates that you're supporting. And so that's one of the things that I love. And so I get this question all the time. Dee, my funds are kind of weird. Or I want to understand, back in the day when you started a staffing business, the funding situation was an issue. Does it cost a lot of money to have funding? I want to tell you all, this is a part of my system. We provide your payroll funding. So that's something that you do not have to do. And one of my guests, I've been working with him for several years now, literally. And I consider him not just a partner, but I also consider him a friend to some degree, right? And I know you probably shouldn't say that about your partners, but about your business partners and colleagues. But when you spent so much time with someone and he's helped me impact lives, he's impacting lives, we get to share that same energy. I want to introduce ARG. ARG is the back office, the official back office company for Staffingpreneurs Academy. We had a lot of questions in the box in a group. Do I use ARG against someone else? There are also a lot of back office companies that are popping up that are looking to connect with me and to become partners with me. But I think it's important for you to understand that I only work with people that I have a relationship with. Anybody in my class, what do I say? People do business with people they what? They like and know, right? So I want to introduce one of my favorite partners. This is someone that I trust. This is someone that I trust will take care of you. This is someone that I trust that actually believes in you and believes in what I'm doing. When I first met him, I think I was just at the idea phase, maybe. And he's watched me build my empire brick by brick. And so I just want to take a moment and just say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. We have Robert Brennan from ARG Back Office. Robert, how are you?
Doing well. Glad to be here, Dee. Glad to be here.
Robert, hold on. You know, in my normal fashion, we got to give you some love. Look, Robert's face is turning red, y'all.
That's don't get that many chairs. I'm not used to that, so that's very wonderful, and I appreciate it. This is I think the third call we've done over the last 6 years. Yeah. So it's always great to get on with Staffingpreneur. I speak to him every day, and it's just a pleasure because, as you know, and much like you, we share that synergy of dealing with entrepreneurs, especially obviously in the staffing and recruiting industry. And I've been doing it for over 20 years, and that's my passion. And you and I just from day one hit it off because our goal is to help recruiting and staffing professionals succeed at what they do. And that is the bottom line, and that's why we're here.
That's right. So let's talk a little bit about ARG because there are a lot of newbies out here that really don't understand the process of and how that system, how that fits into the system with Staffingpreneurs Academy and how that can help them actually launch their niche recruitment and staffing business faster. So can you talk to them a little bit about how the back office system works with starting a staffing business?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, when you're running contract staffing, you want to be able to say yes to the contract staffing, and you need the full employer of record back office solution to do that. So without that, you're just running direct hire. And again, running direct hire in these times is not a good idea. You need to run what we call a balanced desk. You need to be running direct hire. Again, you want to go to your client and be a full service firm. If they need a direct hire, you're there for direct hire. If they need contracting, you say yes to contracting. So, there was a day, if you go back a few decades ago, that was very split. I mean, I sat on the board of NAPS for a few years, member of ASA. And again, there was like vinegar and oil. They didn't mix at all. But today, we don't see that anymore. Direct hire and contracting is really becoming one in everybody's desk. So that kind of brings in the back office solution aspect of it. Now, I know a lot of your clients and Staffingpreneur members are doing healthcare, and we all know healthcare is heavy in contracting. So to not have contracting set up is not have healthcare set up. So it's a key component, and that's why it's to you, it's a big factor in the success of your platform and your clients. So that's where ARG kind of plugs in, and we're a turnkey system just like you are. We're A to Z. There's nothing else you need to bring into the picture. We plug in nicely. We only work with recruiters. We're dedicated to this segment of the marketplace. I've been doing it over 21 years. So what ARG is going to help you do is set up a turnkey back office solution that's going to help drive profits to your business and a very easy platform. Because at the end of the day, the more time you're spending on staffing and your core competency, the more money you're making. Because at the end of the day, we don't want you focused on the admin aspects, but selling and sourcing, which is trained by Dee. And that is very key, because we only work with boutique staffing firms. And boutique staffing firms, there's so many hours in the day. So it's very important where you're putting that time, because that, again, is going to dictate your revenue for your business. So, our platform is designed for boutique staffing firms. That is all the clients we work with. So we're used to bringing on new clients to the business, just like Dee is, and when it comes to training and getting them up and running. We understand them. That's been our clients the whole way. So that's why there's such a great synergy between Staffingpreneurs and ARG.
Yeah. So have you ever had an issue where like payroll, like we're talking about payroll, people's money, and I think sometimes things like happen. Have you ever had a situation where things have happened, and how do you all handle that? How can people feel secure in knowing that that you all are going to be there to support them to ensure that their candidates are getting paid and getting paid on time?
Absolutely. The one thing with back office is there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of pieces to it. And there's a lot of opportunity for errors. It can be on the client side. It can be on the candidate side. It can be on the recruiter side. It can be on ARG side. Anything gets thrown off, it's a very sensitive process. So that's why customer support is very important. And also working with a back office company that's been around for decades and has been vetted to having the system and have seen everything out there. So I think what ARG brings to the table is a process that makes that easy for staffingpreneurs and the history that backs it up.
Definitely. It's really important for you all to understand that, and I love when he said it's kind of complicated. It's a lot of moving parts. One of the reasons why I wanted ARG as a part of our system, and you all, if you want to go to if you want to go, I say ARG, if you want to go to staffingpreneursfunding.com, we'll give you way more information. ARG is my partner. So if you go to ARG's website and you let them know that you heard through me, it doesn't matter. You can go through the Staffingpreneurs Funding or ARG. But what's important is that you understand that this really makes this process, the system work very, very well. That means you don't have to come into the business with $250K. You can come into the business with way less than $250K and still be able to exceed your expectation. You know what I'm saying? Be able to exceed your expectations. So I love the fact that we partner with ARG, because a lot of people don't come into this business already fully funded. And this gives you an opportunity to do so. In addition, ARG does provide insurance. Can you talk a little bit about the insurance piece, Robert?
Absolutely. The insurance piece is fully covered by ARG. That includes general liability, professional liability, the errors and omissions, and workman's comp in all 50 states. So there is no requirement for you to have the insurance. Now, as a business, if you're an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, you can go out and get general liability, professional liability, and other insurances, but that's only for your company. It will not affect the contractors, because ARG is going to represent you on that behalf, therefore take the financial risk, the legal risk, and the insurance risk, so you don't have to.
That's awesomeness. Crystal said, I really feel sure that I made the right choice choosing ARG. I love that, Crystal. I love that. I feel really good about that too. Really, really good question here, Robert. We've been working together for many, many, many years. When we first started out, healthcare was not your space. And now it is. And I'm like, I got to give you a virtual hug. Oh, thank you, Robert.
But yeah, it's I have to say we've been doing office professional. That's been our niche for over 20 years, and I'd have to say, literally, for staffingpreneurs, brought us into the healthcare side, and we're very excited about it. But we were asked for so long to just open that door because we have everything in place. It's just something that wasn't our niche at the time. And think of it as a recruiter. If you were doing healthcare and somehow you're going to get into IT and that's just not what you do, not that you can't do it. It's just that, you're focused on niche. And I'm a firm believer in having niches as the recruiting and staffing industry can be. But we opened that door. We've been very excited. And I want to thank a lot of your staffing pro partners that have worked with us in a think tank mentality and making this better every day. And we're continuing to drive it. And we're very excited about the future with it, and especially with the staffing pro partners.
Right. So like the moment he opened up that healthcare door, I was like, look, this is where we want to be. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So to answer your question, yes, ARG does provide support with healthcare staffing as well. Belinda said, is this back office program included in your sign up? Yes, it's a part of my program. But I also like for you, like I said, I'm fully transparent. I like for you all to meet who you're going to be working with and who's going to be supporting you. That is super important because I personally don't handle the back office stuff. I am all recruiting and training, right? But Robert does. And I want you to be able to see his face and talk to him and to ask questions and to feel comfortable and to get a better understanding about the level of support that you're going to receive, not just for your business, but also for the clients and candidates that you are supporting on a daily basis. I like that transparency. And I hope you all understand that and respect that. I hope that answered your question. She said, Melinda said, I'm trying to better understand. So that's awesome. Tony Johnson, I want to say, hey, girl, thank you so much for being here. Aya said, that's amazing. So Robert, anything you want to add before you go? Anything you want to say to my staffingpreneurs?
I know I've got a lot of requests that have come in. And if I haven't gotten to yet, I make it a priority. But just so you know, you've got a lot of information on Staffingpreneur's website. We are a full service firm. We will handle everything from A to Z. That's going to be your funding, your payrolling, all the insurances, the legal onboarding process, the online time cards, invoicing and collections. We put no workman's, we do no UCC on you. So you'll never be responsible for the funds if your clients have any problems, but that's good insurance to have. There's no setup fees, no ongoing fees, and there's no long-term contracts because we want to make sure we're in the position to have to earn your business every week, every contractor period. So that's important to us. And our reputation is everything to us. We're the oldest name in what we do. And we stand by our processes. We stand by our solution. And we're really excited to be working with you on the healthcare side as we have on the office professional. And hopefully we'll do this more often and we can make this a regular event. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Hold on, let's get my claps back in for Robert. We got to get him some fresh claps. Let's get him some fresh ones. Hold on. Oh, yes, Robert. Robert, I love you so much. You be dealing with me, putting up with Dee Williams. I just want to say I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you supporting my staffingpreneurs the way you do. Y'all don't know this, but when y'all call Robert, he actually spends a lot of time with my staffingpreneurs and really answering questions. He doesn't get paid for that, right? He does it, and many of them don't sign up, and many do. But the ones he does, those are things he's doing out of his heart. So these are the types of partners that I absolutely love, and that I want my staffingpreneurs to have in their back corner supporting them. So put a 1 in the box, or I want you to let Robert know right now how amazing he is. All right, y'all, let Robert know. Robert, I love you so much. Let your wife know I love her too. Y'all have an amazing day. Thanks for being here.
You got it. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Robert. All right, that was Robert Brennan over at ARG. I really felt like it was important for you all to put a name with a face and for you all to understand what's going on behind the scenes. Again, I have been super duper, duper, duper passionate about showing you all, being just more open about my system, because I don't want you all setting up with these coaches who are leading you down the wrong path. And I'm really serious about it. I'm getting so many of these staffingpreneurs are coming to me from other people, and the horror stories that I am hearing about what these other coaches are doing, it's really disheartening. I don't even understand it. So I really feel like it's important to bring some of the people here that actually make the system of Staffingpreneurs Academy work. That the system, it's a full-blown system. We have partners that keep this Staffingpreneurs Academy running every freaking day. And it's really, really important that we let folks know about that system. So I actually want to bring in just one more person, because this system doesn't work without my partners. Okay. And this is how you all are able to literally launch these niche recruitment and staffing businesses within 7 weeks. Literally within 7 weeks, you're able to launch your niche recruitment and staffing business because we have amazing partners. Now, before I put my next guest on, I got to tell y'all something. I work really, 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 really hard to get the right partners in and to get all the moving pieces of recruiting and staffing together in one system, right? And one of the things that I feel like where a lot of staffing agencies are lacking is understanding that you still need to have at least one paid job board up under your belt. You have to. Now, in my boot camp, what I'm going to talk about, we actually go through 2 sales and business development strategies that we use using paid job boards. I can't tell you about it. You got to come to the boot camp to see it. If Tia is here, if LaKoya is here, anybody who's taken my sales boot camp class, they'll tell you that it's freaking amazing. But I wanted to bring one of our partners in. They have given us so much love, down to the point that our pricing is special. This is how much of a partner they are and that they believe in us. Let's welcome one of my favorite people on the planet. This is Deborah, and she's with Career Builder. Deborah, please say hi to my staffingpreneurs.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, everyone.
Hold on, you gotta get some claps. Yes, everybody has to get a clap. Okay, awesome. Deborah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what you all are doing with staffingpreneurs and how you're helping them to really impact lives out here.
Absolutely. So we're super excited to partner with the staffingpreneurs. It's a really great time right now. We like Dee said, we do have special packages that we put together, but at the end of the day, you guys, we want to help you with the right candidates. And that's what we're going to do. Our platform is there to help you all succeed from A to Z. That's why our system works so well with Dee's program, because we provide training. We provide an end-to-end solution for you that is seamless to your partners. And I just wanted to really say that we're doing great things for Dee's students. Again, there's a lot of support that we give. We do live webinars. We do 24/7 training. So, I mean, we're really here to make you all successful. We're super excited about the partnership. I'm here 24/7 like Dee. So she's got you guys all set up. She's got all everything online. So it's super seamless for you guys. And we're really excited about the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yes. And I just wanted you to put a name and a face with Deborah, since she is a part of the Staffingpreneurs Academy system. And you all, it's easy to go in and Dee say, hey, go do this. But you don't really ever know who's on the back end, like really they're supporting you. So first in the box, everybody just say hi to Deborah and let her feel your love, right? I want her to know that she's loved and appreciated for the work that she does here supporting staffingpreneurs all across the globe. And if you're not aware, we have staffingpreneurs all across the globe. Okay. I also want to let you know that the partnership that we have is one of the most important partnerships that we have. And listen, when I come in with these partners, one of the things that I do is I try to negotiate really good pricing for you all. And not just pricing, but support, because I feel like those are the two things that are most important. If we don't use these resources, we lose these resources. So it's really important that we take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented in front of us, so that we can do the things that we are passionate about doing, which is helping to put people into positions, matching amazing people into great job opportunities, helping employers expand and grow their business. Don't get me fired up over here. Okay, sorry. Calm down, Dee. Okay, so that is what it's all about. And Career Builder is a major piece of that for us. As I stated, if you're taking my live boot camp, we are going through two major strategies on how to use the paid job board. And I will be going through Career Builder, but how to use a paid job board so that you can actually generate sales for your niche recruitment and staffing business. It is something that most people don't know how to do. It is my little secret sauce, or at least one of them. So be prepared, okay? And I just wanted to let you know that. Also, I just want one more piece. Can you mention to them about the talent, the
Talent Network?
Yes.
You guys, the Talent Network is a re-engagement tool. I call it a gold mine, because it's the ability to capture talent, people who are interested today. It's a great way to brand. You can get yourself out there on LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere, and people can join your network. So when you're looking for that awesome talent, these are people that are already there looking to work with your organization, and the network re-engages constantly. So again, you may be working in this part over here, but the reality is your talent network is seamless and it keeps working on your behalf for those candidates, which you need all the time. And then when you're ready to go, you can just strike in there and go. The talent network is the best thing ever, you guys. You're going to love it.
And it's like integrated into your website. So it gives you like this, I feel like just like a higher level of visibility. It's like really cool, because on one facet, people are searching for jobs, but you also have those passive folks that aren't necessarily looking, but they still want to be a part of your network. And that's where that talent network comes in. And if you go to identifiesconsulting.com, which you know that's my parent company of Staffingpreneurs Academy, you'll see how we have actually integrated the talent network into our platform. Career Builder is integrated into our platform. If you're in my Run It class, you see me using Career Builder on a consistent basis. Definitely one of my favorite partners, and definitely a key piece of getting this setup system up, going and running. Deborah, we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to let people put a name with a face. If you all are interested in using Career Builder as a staffingpreneur, you can go to staffingpreneursacademy.com/Career Builder, fill out the information, and then you will be talking to Deborah, actually. So there's the name with the face. Deborah, we love you. Thank you so much. Did I lose you, Deborah? I think I lost her. I love you, Deborah. I think I lost Deborah. That's okay. We love Deborah so much. All right, awesome. All right, now let's get into our own stuff. It's 11:57. We got a little bit more time to kind of play. I had a couple of questions that folks were asking, and I wanted to definitely touch on some of the questions that have come in the box. Do me a favor right now, though. If you have any questions at all, any questions, I don't care what it's about, do me a favor and put it in the box now. I definitely want to be here to support you. I also open up my line. So my ringer is on. If you want to call in and you want to hear my voice live and you want to ask questions live, you can definitely do that. The number's on the screen, 866-432-8801. Press 3 and you and I can talk here and answer any questions that you may have. So I had a question a young lady asked that I felt like was really good. Somebody said their daughter is laughing at me. I love it. I'm creating my exit program from W2D this month. See, we got to transition, y'all. Sometimes you just got to transition. You got to pivot sometimes. I want to talk to you like I talked earlier about one of my favorite staffingpreneurs, Tia, and how she pivoted. You know, she took the pivot. I actually took the pivot as well. Many of you know I launched a mobile app last year called Mo Plan Do, or maybe at the end of last year, earlier this year. Had a tour and everything, and the tech just didn't pan out. Things didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And a part of me would say, you know, many of you would say, oh my goodness, then, just fail or let it go. And instead, I decided to do something totally different. I took a pivot and I launched Reskillify, and it's doing amazing, right? So sometimes you have to take a L to be able to see where you're really supposed to be. Sometimes I feel like we're just being stubborn. We're just like trying to do things on our own and not really listening to the universe, which is really guiding us to where we're supposed to be. And that's a different type of thought process to have. And you also have to have a different level of awareness and to be somewhat humble enough to be able to look back and say, okay, so that didn't work. I don't want to give up. What can I do to make it better? And that is the message that you will always hear me talk about. You know, that message of continue to press, continue to move on. Do me a favor. If you're watching me right now on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, because I only come back when I know that I can get that positive energy from you. If you're on Facebook, please put a heart on there. Let folks know and share this. Let folks know that Dee Williams is out here trying to impact lives, and they're one of the lives that needs to be impacted too. That's what I got to say. Okay, put your questions in the box. I got my first question. First question is Dominique. Hi, Dominique. How are you? So glad you're here. Thank you for being here so much. She says, does the boot camp help direct hire business? The boot camp helps direct hire. It helps staffing, the whole nine. We're really focusing on getting the client, getting the contract. But beyond getting the client and getting the contract, we're focusing on building the relationship and understanding how you build the relationship. It's so 1989 to pick up the phone and call a hiring manager and say the same thing that everybody else is saying, which is, do you use staffing agencies I want to help you with your staffing needs. They're getting 5 million of those calls a day and 5 million of those emails a day. And frankly, they're freaking sick of it, right? They are looking for real partners. And most people coming into the recruitment and staffing industry who has never ran a staffing business before, never been a recruiter before, they don't understand that process. They look at staffing from a very different perspective. First of all, they don't realize that when you're running a staffing business, you are supporting two separate markets. You're supporting a business to business market, a B2B market when you're dealing with your employer prospects clients, and you're dealing with a B2C market when you're dealing with your business to candidates, right? So there are two different types of conversations that are taking place. That's important for you to know. That's first thing first. Second thing, each and every one of your clients from a sales and business development perspective are experiencing some type of issue. And it is not necessarily always a people issue. Sometimes it has something to do with the business. Sometimes it does have to do with the people, but you don't always need to come into the door selling your staffing services. I forgot to do, oh my gosh, we have to do one more shout out. I was about to use her an example and I totally forgot, y'all. I have to give a shout out to one of my other staffingpreneurs who is really rocking it out. And I was getting ready to use her as an example, and I'm going to use her example first, and then I'm going to come back. This young lady was live in my group the other day, and we were talking about her wins, or we were talking about wins, and she came out and she said, Dee, I picked up the phone, I called a hiring manager, and I literally was just talking to him and just having a conversation. I asked him, is everything okay? He began to tell me what was and what wasn't okay. And all of a sudden, I've got a contract sitting on the table. This is one of my nurses who's absolutely phenomenal. She supports me in so many ways, like emotionally, mentally. We're on a fitness journey together. This is Amber Hamill. Let's give Amber Hamill some love. She just landed her very first contract, just started her business less than 30 days ago. Let's give her some love. Amber. How could I forget Amber? She's doing it up. Okay, so going back to Dominique and what she said. So sometimes it just is about having that conversation. So the sales boot camp is about what type of conversations do I have? First, let's go back. It's about strategy. Most of you all come into a staffing business with zero strategies, or it's in your head and you never write it down, right? Or it's not fully flushed out. It's not fully thought out, like what you're going to do step by step by step by step. That sales boot camp is about the execution strategy. It's about creating the execution strategy, and it's about implementing the execution strategy. And the really cool thing about it is that we do those things live. Not only that, we're setting up your email automation, which is exactly what you need. Most people, when they're coming into this business, don't understand that there are two forms of automation that you need in order for the wheels to work right: your pre-automation and your post-automation. Most people don't understand you need lead magnets. Most people don't understand about it's a lot of different moving parts to that setup piece, and it's a lot of different moving parts to sales and business development. Most people are going out there blindly. That sales boot camp is going to take you all the way through. Direct hire, contract to hire, locums, travel nurses, executive search. It doesn't matter. The sales and business development process is about automation. It's about building relationships. It's about flushing out your execution strategy, and it's about actually implementing it during the live. We have limited seats due to COVID in person, but you can also visit virtually. And I think somebody's asking me about it. So let me put there it is. There's the link at the bottom for the boot camp if you're interested in joining, and I'll keep it there so you all will have it. So great question, Dominique. I really, really appreciate you chiming in with that. Let's see who else. How do I get started? I'm so sorry. Latte. Just go back and watch the replay. Just go back and watch the replay. Just keep listening, my love. This is what the conversation is all about. All right. I want to jump on the bandwagon. You're a blessing. Alicia, I believed in you from day one. Like, we waiting on you, babe. We totally waiting on you, right? We just need you focused. Just focused. That's the big thing. So if you can get focused, like, this is for you. You already know what's put in your heart. What are you saying? Just come on back in there and get back into the swing of things and get your market flushed out and start to understand your market so that you can go in and support the employers and the candidates that need to be supported. Can I get an amen? Hello. High five, y'all. Somebody give me a high five. High five. High five. High five. All right. Awesome. Collab. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Oh, it's Afri. Hey, Afri. It's one of my favorite people. How are you? My question is, how much content should I be creating in trust funnel towards future prospects and candidates? Also, how many campaigns should I create for each one? That's a great question. So, Afri, so you're going to create a shitload of content, just FYI, right? So you have email, you have pre-email marketing content, you have post-email marketing content, you have onboarding content, you have ATS content, you have sell sheet content, you have lead magnet content, you have, you have tons and tons and tons of content. And of course, we go through that in detail in the setup, so you'll know exactly what content you need. But there are so many different layers to setting up this business and to doing it in an automated perspective. You'll be surprised how many larger staffing agencies call me and say, Dee, I want to get the same setup system that you are giving your staffingpreneurs. We need that automation on the back end. We're so behind the times on getting our systems automated. If you're in this business and you're a one-man or woman firm or two-man or woman firm or three-man or woman firm or whatever the case may be, understand that you're going to need to have a level of automation in your business, because you're not like a Randstad or an Intersect Group or a Aerotech or, where they have tens and thousands of employees across the globe. That's not who you are. You're one or two or three-man, firm or woman firm. So you have to create a strong, solid foundation that consists of automation so that when you do one thing, everything else picks up on the back end. And that's how I teach my system, right? I believe in an ebb and flow in recruiting and staffing. Like with candidates, you have to go out and get your candidate, but you also have to post and allow candidates to find you as well. Recruiting, the process of the business, right? And sales and business development. And all of that's the same way. You have to go out and get it, and you have to go out and attract it as well. So I hope that answers your question. In regards to your campaigns, when you start getting into your campaigns, it's hard to answer that question because you have pre-email automation campaigns and you have post-email automation campaigns. I'm thinking you're asking about the post-email automation campaigns, Afri, and there is 8 different levels of campaigns that you would have for your post-email automation. And each of those campaigns can literally be between 3, 5, and 7 emails that would follow a conversation that you're having, depending on the execution strategy that you're implementing. I think it's really important to define your execution strategy. And based on your execution strategy, you can figure out exactly how many emails you need to support that execution strategy and to move your customer along to the next phase in their journey. I hope that that made a lot of sense for you. Okay, great. We got a lot of questions. I'm getting fired up over here. I'm gonna have to get up and dance again in a minute. Y'all don't be laughing at me. Okay, so this is a very informative live. Thank you so much. I'm interested in opening a VA and bookkeeping agency. However, I hear your niche is healthcare. I wonder if I would benefit from your strategies and resources as a VA booker as if I was in the healthcare space. My niche is not healthcare. I just attract healthcare people. My niche is, I don't have a niche. My niche is creating niches. My niche is helping you to define your niche. We have people in our community that are in the IT space, in the manufacturing space, in the light industrial space, in the marketing space, in the sales space, in the finance space, in the insurance space, in the international space, in the education space, in the legal space. We have attorneys in our community. We have police officers in our community. We have accountants in our community. No, honey bunny. I just, for some reason, nurses feel my energy. Let me tell you what I believe. I believe most nurses have a good heart. I believe most nurses genuinely care about people. And I believe most nurses can tell when someone's genuine or not. And I think that's why I attract nurses. But they are not the only people that I have in my community, I promise. We have a little bit of everything. Now, let's talk about VA and bookkeeping. I think bookkeeping is great, and I think VAs are great, but you need to have a specific strategy around it. VAs are one of those niches, in my opinion, that they're dime a dozen. And so if you're just doing VAs, what's going to set you apart from every other VA agency out there? So I think it's important for you to actually be very specific about the types of VAs that you want to support. Now, this is going to make you feel uncomfortable if you're not aware of how valuable the niche is. But have you ever thought about saying, I only place VAs for executives in the finance industry, or I only place VAs for staffingpreneurs, or I only place VAs for staffing companies, or I only place VAs for retail organizations, or I only place VAs for, the idea of VAs across the board is just so many of them. It just doesn't make sense. You really, really, really want to niche down and find your market. And again, I know that's kind of scary, but if you think about it from a logical perspective, if you can narrow down to one specific market, that market is going to use you for more than what they originally came on board with you for, and you will grow your empire over time. Many of you have watched me grow my empire. Many of you have been here with me on LinkedIn or on YouTube since 2013, on LinkedIn since 2008. Y'all remember when I was working for somebody else as a recruiter? Y'all remember when I quit my job? Y'all remember when I started the Identifies Consulting? Y'all remember when I launched Staffingpreneurs Academy? Y'all watched me launch three different technologies, the Cannabis Job Board, Mole Plan Do, and now Reskillify. I have literally been able to grow my empire starting off with one tiny niche. The key is that one, you've got to have patience. Everything doesn't happen overnight. You have to be able to have a vision, a clear vision of where you're trying to go, a clear vision of the type of impact that you want to create. And then you have to have the patience to be able to live that vision out. And for me, it's taken 7 years or 10 or 11 years. I think my anniversary is, we started in 2011. So I guess almost 10 years I've been in business. That's bananas, right? But I actually stuck it out through the good, through the bad, and I was very patient with myself and the people that I've been working with. Also, one more thing that I'm going to tell you is that one of the things that I feel like is really important and that I talk about all the time is I establish real relationships. And see, I think that's where a lot of business owners, especially staffing agencies, new ones that are starting out, this is where they miss out on the ball. They're so focused on getting the sale that they forget that the sale comes just by having the relationship, and that all sales don't have to come immediately. Some sales are not meant for today. Some sales are meant for 3 years from now, on a day and a time where you're at your very bottom and you didn't even, something major happen, and they come in right on time. It's all about planting seeds. It's all about building those relationships. Just about every staffingpreneur that's in my community, I literally pick up the phone most of the time. People are always really surprised, but I pick up the phone. I not only pick up the phone, sometimes if I see people purchasing things, I'll pick up the phone and call them. Where are you at in your business? What are you doing? Right? I will call people, text them. Why are you not in my community? I'm not trying to sell you, but I'm trying to let you know that if you do this, you'll win faster. Like, you have to build relationships. And even on the staffing side of the business, and I don't do as much staffing as I used to, thus I'm here in California recruiting for a client. But even on that side of the business, like my client, John, I'm here in his office this week. I will be, I'm in my hotel now, but recruiting for him, I'm hiring a recruiter and an account manager for his business. We built a relationship over years, over 3 to 4 years of time. And now he's at the point where, Dee, I would only come to you, right? He has a medical sterile processing staffing agency. He also has a medical sterile processing school. I work with a lot of training companies who are adding staffing on as another revenue stream and service line to their business. So I hope that was helpful. I kind of went down a rabbit hole or whatever, but I hope that was helpful because I wanted to be able to give you that information. Oh my gosh, I have so many comments here. Let me see where I can find you. What am I missing? Okay, great. I hope that was helpful. Also, I want to start the process of being an authority in this space. So should my content be geared towards staffing and recruiting, or should it be geared towards my niche? I think both. Right. And Afri, you already know what my plan is for 2021 with the staffingpreneurs. You know that I right now believe that staffing is going through a major shift due to technology. And what is about to happen is that we will be responsible not necessarily to just find talent. I think that will be something that we'll do on the offset. But where companies are really going to see our value in the next 5 to 10 years is us creating the talent that they need, right? Because I am doing something. I am disrupting the staffing market by training you all, right? And my foresight is disrupting this market. But just like I'm doing that, there are other people that are like me all across the world that are disrupting little mini markets. These companies cannot keep up with that disruption. They can't keep up. By the time they catch on to the disruption, it's already the industry norm. And then that means they're 10 steps behind. So it's our job to actually keep our fingers on the pulse of the niche market, to understand where the disruption is happening, to duplicate that skill set, that disruptive skill set over and over again, and then build relationships with companies, connect with them, and let them know you don't have to be behind. You can be competitive. You can be ahead of the curve, or at least ride the curve while it's still here instead of being behind the curve. And you can do that with the talent that we've created on your behalf that are already familiar with this particular disruption. So you already know that's where we're going. We're going into e-courses next year. We're going into thought and brand authority next year. You're in the right place, Afri. Stay close. Awesome question. All right, Tony. Hey, Dee, I'll be signing up for the Academy. Finally. But my question to you, with the climate due today, COVID-19, is it best to do direct hire or contractual? So I would tell you that contracts are really, really hot, probably more than direct hire because of COVID, but direct hire is still relevant. I mean, a few of the people who made those placements that I was talking about earlier, they were all on the direct hire side, right? So what I would tell you is that when you're starting a staffing business, staffing involves both, right? Staffing is contract to hire, and direct hire. Direct hire is just direct hire. So if you come through my community, I set everyone up to do contract to hire, and direct hire. You can focus on direct hire, but I guarantee you, your clients are going to be looking for a level of variety. And I want you to be set up on the back end to be able to do that. That's why I brought Robert in earlier, to reassure you, you don't have to worry about the funds for the back end portion of the process. We have a system already set up for you to take care of that. All you have to do is worry about building relationships with your clients, building relationships with your candidates, understanding each party, what they need, and making the match. That is the goal. Great, great, great question, Tony. I really appreciate you so much there. Thank you so much. That's my Amber. Amber, that's right. Oh, give Amber some love. She's so amazing. Yes, I remember that testimony. She's amazing. All right, awesome. Who do we got? Oh, this is one of my staffingpreneurs for sure. For anyone on the fence about joining Staffingpreneurs Academy, don't be. Just do it. It has been life-changing for me. I am someone who had a mentor coach prior to Dee. However, I did not feel ready at all. Something was missing. The setup course in Staffingpreneurs Academy has given me the solid foundation that I needed as an owner. I feel very confident now about opening and running my niche recruitment and staffing business. Unfortunately, I cannot see which one of my staffingpreneurs that is, but whoever that is, I just want to tell you, I love you so much. And I'm so thankful to be on this journey with you. And I look forward to continuing to see you grow, 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 grow. Stay close to me. You already know where I'm taking you, right? I love you so much. I love that. Awesomeness. I love that. Where can we find the schedule for the upcoming boot camps? You've got to go right here. All right. Right here, staffingpreneurs.com/staffing-recruiting. Matter of fact, let me go in and I'm going to just put it in the chat box. How about that? I'm going to put it in the chat box. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make this kind of, okay, there. And then let's go to comments and I'm going to just stick it in the chat box. And then the link should be there for each and every one of you. Anybody who's looking to join the boot camp. Again, in-person seats are very limited. We only have 8 seats per location. I also forgot to put out there, we lost our Atlanta location, the original location for the Atlanta boot camp due to COVID. So we will all be now meeting at my office in my conference room in Alpharetta, Georgia. I will put the updated address. The dates are the same. Your seats are still there. But instead of us meeting over by the convention center, over in the Marietta area, that's not Sandy Springs, but the Marietta area, we're actually meeting in Alpharetta now at my office. I will update everything and make the announcement. I'm excited for you all to be in my space, whoever is coming to the Atlanta boot camp. And if you're joining the live stream, you're going to have so much fun too. Okay. So love, love, love all there. Let's see, what else do we have here? All right. What are the advantages or disadvantages between using ARG or getting a loan? Getting a loan, you got to pay back. ARG, you don't. That's it. Point blank. You can get a loan, and I think you should get a loan still because ARG only covers the payroll funding, but you still have all the marketing, branding. You got to buy leads. You got to do all of these other things to get your business up and going. So I would encourage you to not encourage you, but if you still want to get your loan, then go ahead and do it. But the thing that would be very helpful is ARG, you don't have to pay them back. They're your back office. They're your employer of record. So they're going to cover your payroll. And when the client pays you, then pays them, they're going to take their payroll back out. And then you get your profit check. So it's just that simple. It's just that simple. So you just don't have to pay. You don't have to pay back, where a loan, you absolutely do have to pay back. No, boot camp is never going to be a replacement of the academy. No, I mean, listen, the reason that the boot camp even came about was I do one-on-ones. I work with some of my one-on-one clients, and a part of my one-on-one contractual basis, I have to go and do a site visit. Well, because of COVID, I was unable to do all of my site visits earlier in the year. Now that things are somewhat better, I'm going out to travel. But the thing is when I go and I tell people that I'm in a different location, everyone wants to do lunch. They want to take me to dinner, which I love, right? But I don't have the time, right? And really what they're doing is they want to meet with me so that they can pick my brain, and they figure that they can do that over a meal or whatever the case may be, which is fine. I don't mind. I actually genuinely love the staffingpreneurs that I hang out with. but I don't have the bandwidth to be able to share my brain for free or freely to everyone in every location that I go to. So I put an email out. My subscriber list is about 6,000, and I manage 2 Facebook groups for staffingpreneurs, and one paid, one community focused. And I asked the question, like, I'm getting ready to travel in 6 cities over the next 2 months, where I want to do a live class. What do you all want to learn? And everyone said, I want to learn sales and business development. I want to learn automation. I want to learn how to get a contract. And so I just put everything together and I started, and that's what I put the boot camp on. The setup, the Staffingpreneurs Academy is set up in 3 different ways, Tony. So you either, it's just like schooling. High school is the setup, college or university is the run it, and graduate is the scale up. You can't get to the scale up unless you do the setup in my world, right? Because your scale up, you're making money. Your run it, you're just finishing your setup. You're trying to get your first contract. Although I have a ton of people in my run it class that refuse to leave because they're still trying to learn how to run the business, even though they have live contracts. So the run it course is all about the running of the business. But the setup course, because you can't get into the running course unless you set up, the setup course sets the foundation for you running the business, right? So we actually go through in depth how to set the business up so that when you decide that you're ready to start running the business, everything that you need on the back end is 100% there. As I stated before, and I'm going to state it again, automation, when you're a small business, you need automation because you don't have a full-blown staff running behind you. And then my program is all about that. It's about setting you up so that you can be a 1, 2, 3 man firm and still compete against some of the larger firms. We have a staffingpreneur right now, Latanya Pouncey, who I absolutely love. And if y'all know Latanya, put a 1 in the box if you love Latanya as much as I do. But she's in New York City, and she does the government staffing piece. She does some government staffing. She actually beat out some of the very larger staffing agencies as a 1, 2 man staffing agency. But she has her shit together. She's gone through my program. She has everything in place. So she's able to support herself and to function and compete at the level of a larger agency because she's got her automation in place, because she's set up properly, because she's got her strategies, her execution strategies fleshed out, because she knows her niche market. So I hope that makes sense. It does not replace it. It's an addition. Now, Tony, a lot of people like to see me outside of the academy. Are you telling me you don't want to see my pretty face? What you saying, girl? What's up with that? What you saying? What's up with that, Tony? Where's the love? Absolutely. If it exists, Dee can magnify it. It's very true. That's my special gift. I love it. Yes, Vaughn, I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the feedback. I totally agree with you on the relationship building. That's one of my focuses. I also agree on getting specific in the VA market, and I'm working on it. You answered my question. High five, Pooh. I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, Pam, how are you? Thanks for being here. Oh, we got a spammer, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody spamming us. Ooh. Hilarious. Hey, Kay. I love you, Pooh. So glad you're here. I'm trying to listen and type. Sorry for the typos. You're so cute. I'm in a learning and development niche. I'm excited about making my niche staffing agency. High five on that. Congrats. I'll be staffing instructional designers, e-learning development, and technical writers. That is awesome. And one of the things that I actually love about that, because I would typically tell you to focus on one thing, but all 3 of those positions work together. And so if a particular hiring manager is looking for one, they would probably be looking for 1, 2, and 3. So you understand your niche market, it sounds like, to some degree, and you're understanding how they can all mesh as one. Great job. I absolutely love that. Hey, Andre, how are you? It's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, that was my Chastity. I love you. Thank you so much, Chastity. I appreciate you being here. Always. Thank you so much. Let's see. Hey, Yolanda, I want to start an agency to recruit for remote workers only. Do I still need to niche into a specific industry? Yeah, because remote workers isn't really a niche. That is just the type of work that someone is doing. So you definitely need to niche into a specific area. And an industry is just an industry. It's not a niche. It's just the industry that you're supporting. If you're going to really break it down into a niche, then you're going to say, I want to place remote workers who are Java developers or who are software developers. I would probably do Java or Python. I would like make it very specific or focus on 1 or 2, 3 different development types. Or I want to focus on instructional designers who work remotely. Or I want to focus on executives who support the retail industry who work remotely. So remote is just the type of work that's being done, but it definitely does not define your niche, Yolanda, and your industry doesn't define your niche as well. I hope that was helpful. Okay. Should I wait to pass my audit before a boot camp? That's a really good question. I don't think you have to pass your audit to go to boot camp. I think actually, if you go through boot camp before you do the audit, you may find that there are some things you want to go back and change, and that there are some things you might want to go back and change on the candidate side specifically, because you're going to understand the process so much more. And also, I think that it'll better help you flesh out your setup process. So it's very much so okay to go to boot camp before audit. In some instances, I kind of would like it, as long as you all aren't like making your calls before you do the audit, because I definitely want to make sure that you're set up properly. And just for some of you who don't know anything about my program, so there are a few things that you should know about the setup program. One, 52 weeks out of the year, I show up every Tuesday to answer your questions, and that is free of charge, right? So I have a group call. It's an accountability call. You come in every Tuesday while you're setting up your business, and I answer your questions and make sure all things are always on point with you. At the end, once you set your business up as your coach, it's my job to make sure that you set the business up the right way. So I actually do an audit at the end. You request a meeting with me. We started out with 15-minute audits, then we went to 30-minute audits, and now we're up to an hour audit. Just so you know, 1 hour with me is $375 an hour. That audit is free with the program. It's a part of your program. Okay, so the audit is really cool because basically I give you a checklist of things that I'm looking for. Once I know you have completed those things, you get a certificate of completion that you can actually put on LinkedIn, or you can put on your website. You get a badge, and literally, you get to go out and either start selling and connecting with your candidates, or you can graduate and go into my Run It program and learn how to run the business as an owner and as an employee. So it really, really that's kind of how the program works, just so you know. Hey, Tracy Bell, I love you, and I'm glad that you're still here. Listen, I put a post out in the group a couple of months ago and was like, anybody who's not active, I'm getting rid of y'all. So if you active, put a one, let me know. I mean, people I hadn't even talked to in years were like, I'm still here, Dee. You better not get rid of me. I thought that was so cute. Thank you. That's helpful. My background is HR, so I'm going to niche within that area. That's a great area to be in. HR is definitely becoming a key player in the boardroom. And one of the things I would encourage you to do, Yolanda, is I would encourage you to, I know your background is HR. When you're in a specific niche, sometimes you don't really get to understand the full industry as a whole. You only see it from your perspective based on where you've worked at and how you've worked in the past. I would encourage you to join every forum, every group. I would encourage you to put surveys. I call them fly catchers. Got that from Russell Brunson, but put surveys out there to understand your market more and to find books on HR where they're actually talking about the problems that HR is up against, because that's going to be the winning strategy, or part of the winning strategy of actually you turning your idea into revenue, turning your idea into placements, turning your idea into a real full-blown business, a full-blown national brand. I hope that was helpful for you. Hey, my love. I'm not going to try to butcher your name. Hi, Dee. Just started recruiting, and I need help with how I work with other agencies. I don't really understand the question fully. So I would like for you to put the message back in and be clear so that I can answer you clearly. So it sounds like you're saying you're trying to figure out how to work with other staffing agencies. That's not what I teach. I teach you how to go and get your own clients. Right? Because you lose money when you're splitting your bill. And the goal here is for you to grow your business enough for you to grow an additional location or additional locations, or to not just be locally, but to be nationwide, or not to just be nationwide, but to be global, or whatever your goal is. But if you're doing that by partnering with other agencies all the time, and I think that's somewhat of that low-hanging fruit that some of those other coaches are talking about, for this, you're going to do the same level of work that you would do if you were going after your own client. So let's just focus on you going after your own client and go from there. But you can feel free to put your question in the box and I'll definitely answer it. Hey, I am in a group of developers that I would like to get software jobs in a growing industry, but wanted to know, how do referrals work versus staffing them in the meantime? Well, referrals, you get like $250, $300. You're in the staffing industry, you make so much more. You get paid per hour or a full fee based on the person that you're hiring. So I think the bigger question would be so if you're not interested, I think the bigger question is, are you interested in entrepreneurship, or are you interested in continuing to serve your industry in the capacity that you do? Right. So if you are interested in being a business owner, if you see this idea or this opportunity and you want to take it to the next level, then I would say, don't do referrals, start your niche recruitment and staffing business. But if you don't want to deal with the idea of having to deal with a back office, or having to deal with people not showing up, or all of the things that people don't love about staffing and having a staffing business, paying taxes and all of that stuff, then I would encourage you to continue to do referrals and to generate your side hustle that way, because staffing is not easy. Okay. It's not a multi-level marketing company. It's not a quick fix. It's not a business you start today and then tomorrow everything is amazing. Like my staffingpreneurs, you're hearing the wins after they've gone through the setup process. Some of them, it's taken them 6 months to set up, or a year because of them, right? Some of them only 7 weeks, but some of them, it's taken them time. They have really taken this thing very seriously. They've been putting the pieces together, piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece, until they have really have a real full brand. So I think it's just like, do you want to be an entrepreneur or not? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, start your own. If you want to continue to be an employee, we need employees. Focus on the referrals. I hope that was helpful. Should I become ASA certified during the setup? You can if you choose to, except I think that ASA requires you to have generated a certain amount of revenue in order to become a member. I speak for the American Staffing Association quite often, and they are one of the associations I very much so endorse. Also, staffing industry analysts, I endorse as well. Disrupt HR, I endorse. SHRM, I endorse. So you definitely want to get involved. SourceCon, ERE, you definitely want to get involved in all of these organizations that are here to support recruitment and staffing agencies and the HR and staffing industry as a whole. I would say if you have the finances when you're first starting up, sure. If you're on a budget, hold off until you start generating your revenue and chime in. Just stay close to them because they're always going to keep you on point with things that are going on. All right, Membre here in South Africa. I love my South African community. I love my African community. I love. I cannot wait. I was supposed to be there this year. Hopefully when this COVID thing dies, you and I will be in the same energy. Love you. Tion, how you doing? Hi. If we do the online virtual class, will it be one-on-one with you? You can't do an online virtual class one-on-one. You just can't do it, right? It's a class. It's a virtual class. So it's not one-on-one. You're actually going to be involved with the live class. So the virtual class is going on with the live class. So you'll be in Zoom and you hopefully will have 2 cameras, but right now you'll be in Zoom. So you'll hear my voice and you'll see the presentation. And when I'm not in the presentation, then you'll see me on camera the way you are seeing me now. You'll actually be obligated to actually download Loom, Loom, which is one of our screen recording partners. And Loom, you'll download Loom. And when we're doing our live calls, you're actually going to have Loom going on in the background, recording your calls. Once you're done, you're going to put the link in the chat box. When we're at lunch, we're going to review everything and we'll review your calls. I will also probably be reviewing calls after the live boot camp. And just so you know, after the live boot camp, there is a weekly call up until I go on vacation. and I go on vacation in November. So just keep that in mind. I'm only going to be on here a couple more minutes because I am recruiting today, but I am here to answer any more questions that you all may have. Can you share rates for nurses? What kind of rates? What does that mean? I think that's not a valid question, in my opinion. If you're talking about salary, or because nurses come on in different levels, right? So some RNs are more expensive than others. Some nurses, like nurse practitioners, are more expensive than RNs. So I don't think it's really valid to just say, like, what are the rates for nurses? But if you're saying, what are the rates for nurses in my community? Everybody is the same rate. So that question isn't very clear. Feel free to elaborate on your question for sure. Amen to that. You answered my question, Dee. Dee, I think I need your help with getting clients and candidates, and also how to send emails that will respond and follow up. You probably want to take my setup course. You probably want to take the sales boot camp, but I'm going to tell you right now, if your business is not fully set up with the system that I have, it's going to be hard for you to really understand that course. Your niche has to be flushed out, right? So, and you have to have, like, in your mind, strategies of how you want to execute. But what I would say is, if you are where you are, then I would take the sales boot camp, because that's all we do is sales and business development. Perfect. How can we relate to contingency workforce creation? I think that that's something that you have to think about based on your particular niche market, right? I think you have to really look at your niche market and to really understand where they are, and then create something specific. So, like, for example, I have a client right now. She just was at the boot camp here in Chicago, and her name is LaKoya. She left the boot camp fired up because it was something similar to that, where she started to see where she could integrate so much more into her execution strategies that were value driven for her clients, but it was specific to her niche market. So that's something, in my opinion, that's an add-on, and that is custom to your niche market based on where they are currently and what they have going on. Same. I also asked if you can help with tender for staffing agencies. Anyway, I'll contact you, chat more. Yes, that again, those are add-ons. Those are additional things that you're adding on to the basic model of staffing. And I definitely approve of you taking your staffing business to another level and adding those things on. Now, I am going to end our call. I know, don't be sad. I know you're going to miss me. What I want to say to you is this. One, first, thank you for being here. You're super phenomenal. Two, I want to say, take a moment. We have go to staffingpreneursacademy.com if you're interested in setting up. If you're interested in growing your business, then go to staffingpreneursacademy.com, because I want to be there to support you. More than anything, I'm loud, right? I'm super loud. I have so much energy. It's crazy. I'm typically jumping up and down all around across the room. I am pretty straightforward. And from Baltimore, so I've kind of got this weird kind of personality. My tongue is sharp. I am going to motivate you probably sometimes in a way that you like, and sometimes in a way that's going to be super uncomfortable for you. I am not for everyone, right? And I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is that you're not having a coach to support you throughout this journey. What I'm not cool with is that you picking a coach that is teaching you to try to take the quick path to finances. That is not what recruiting and staffing is about. That's why the industry is hurting, right? It's really important for you to understand that this is a people business. And when you're dealing with people's lives in real life, you're dealing with people's lives. And I think that's more prevalent today than that has been in any other time in the world right now, right? And so it's not just about the money. And I do talk about the money because I want people to understand that you don't necessarily have to work a 9 to 5 for 40 years in order for you to generate $1 million. You can actually build a staffing business and do that within a year, right? Or more than $1 million or whatever. So that's why I talk about the money. But the part that's really important is the lives that you change. Every one of those staffingpreneurs who are generating revenue, if you ask them right now, why do you do this? They will tell you the money is great, but it's a high that you get when you have the ability to submit that offer letter to that candidate. It is a true high that you get when you hear somebody on the other end thanking you for helping them to go from one version of themselves to the next version of themselves, or from working with someone who is underappreciated in their current job where their employer does not recognize the value that they bring, and they're miserable, and taking that home to their family, taking that home and rubbing it off on their family. You're able to go in and to change that dynamic. Now they have a happier marriage. Now their kids are saying, my parents enjoy me. Like, that's what having a recruitment and staffing business is really about. And that's the part of the business that I bring to the table. And then also just the freaking relationships that you build. It's just so freaking phenomenal. So I just want to say, I love each and every one of you. I'm really, really excited about you all taking this journey and impacting lives. Go to Staffingpreneurs Academy, join my mailing list so that you can be aware of all the things that I have going on. If you're interested, you can also go to my store. I have an e-commerce store where you can just go in and pick up some things. It's at the bottom here, at the bottom of recruitmentstore.com. Talk to some of the other staffingpreneurs that you've seen that have commented on this post. Ask them about the academy, ask them about their relationship with me, and they'll tell you the honest to good Lord truth. And then get into doing what God has put in your heart and your mind to do. Again, I really appreciate you all. I will see you next month, right? The first Wednesday of the month. For all of my folks that are in the setup class, I'll see you Tuesday at 12 noon. For all of my folks that are in the run it class, I will see you on Monday at 2 p.m. We're in week 2, I believe. So we will be going into the recruiting portion of the business. The sourcing part of the business. I will see my scale up group today at 3 p.m. Eastern. I will see each and every one of you online through my YouTube videos, my LinkedIn videos. I love y'all. Have an amazing day. And thank you so much for having me. Be amazing.